Finding the right laptop for video engineering and editing shouldn't be too hard. It's just like picking a gaming laptop, only this time around you should take the display's size, native resolution, and battery into consideration. If you aren't too sure about which laptop is suitable for this particular line of work, we've taken the liberty of picking the top 5 models in the year of 2020. For more information on the products, I've included links in the description box down below which are updated for the best prices. Like the video, and do not forget to subscribe. Now let's get started. We're opening up our review of the best laptops for video editing with Lenovo's Legion Y7000 laptop. Generally speaking, budget laptops are not meant for this particular line of work, so you'll notice that a budget video editing laptop such as the Legion Y7000 costs twice or thrice as much as an average model for various purposes. Overall, Lenovo's Legion Y7000 is one of the cheapest machines that are capable of catering to your editing and programming needs. It's packed with 16 gigabytes of RAM, a robust Intel Core CPU, a big full HD display, and plenty of storage space. Let's begin with what we've liked about this laptop. First and foremost, we really like the fact that this laptop features a combo of SSD and HDD. It comes supplied with 256 gigabytes of SSD and a full terabyte of hard disk drive, which means that it runs smooth, launches rapidly, and leaves you with ample room for your work. Speaking of memory, the Legion Y7000 sports 16 gigabytes of DDR4 2666 MHz RAM. Although most professionals would recommend 20 plus gigabytes of RAM for heavy-duty video editing tasks, 16 is pretty close, and you'll always be able to upgrade this particular feature if you want to. The next thing we've absolutely loved is the Intel's i7-8750H CPU. This is a 6-core 4.1 GHz central processing unit that possesses enough strength to run even the most demanding editing software with ease. The graphics card of Legion Y7000 is absolutely remarkable too. This laptop sports NVIDIA's 6GB GTX 1060 GPU, which is commonly outfitted to more advanced and more expensive models. Lastly, we've really liked the fact that Legion Y7000 features a 15.6-inch IPS and LED backlit Full HD display. It's big enough to let you work with all the details in your footage, and the anti-glare technology helps shield your eyes against blue light radiation. However, Full HD is substantially weaker than 4K resolution displays, which is the first thing we didn't really like as much. After all, Legion Y7000 is a budget video editing laptop, and as such performs quite extraordinarily. Its features may not be the strongest out there, and its specs leave plenty of room for improvement, but it gets the job done and then some. Video editing requires a keen eye, and you could make your job a lot simpler and easier by using a laptop that is capable of accurately portraying all the details and colors of your footage. A perfect example of such a laptop model is Acer's ConceptD 7, which was specifically made for photographers, programmers, and video engineers. Now, you don't need to be a tech genius to figure out that ConceptD 7 is a professional laptop. Its specs are vastly superior to budget video editing laptops, which means that it will work like a charm for even the most spec-demanding tasks. The first notable feature of ConceptD 7 is the 9th generation of Intel's i7-9750H 6-core processor that can reach up to 4.5 GHz with the turbo feature. Even though it's not dramatically stronger than other Intel i7s, it packs more threads and more raw strength, which means that it will be able to help you tackle down more workload. Next up is the GPU. ConceptD 7 comes outfitted with NVIDIA's RTX 2080 that sports the heavily acclaimed Max-Q design and 8 GB of dedicated GDDR6 virtual RAM memory. Moreover, you'll gain access to NVIDIA's Studio software free of charge. You'll get to utilize 32 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM, which basically means that you'll have all the room and memory you need to work with. Additionally, this laptop sports a terabyte of NVMe solid-state driver. It offers the benefits of massive storage space and fast startup times cumulatively. There are a couple of bonus features that you'll be able to use to get on your feet until the ConceptD 7 comes with a pre-installed Windows 10 home operating system and a 3-month trial version of Adobe's Creative Cloud. Even though most professionals already have a full subscription of this program and backups of their Windows Linux in their pocket, these additions are perfect for those who don't. Finally, let's talk a bit about the display ConceptD 7 comes outfitted with. This laptop model rocks a 15.6-inch 4K UHD widescreen LED lit display with Adobe RGB color gamut. In a nutshell, this is a large 4K display that recognizes more color shades than most intermediate level laptops while portraying them with surgical accuracy. The only thing you might not like so much about the ConceptD 7 is its price tag. Namely, it's pretty expensive, although it's beyond obvious that it's worth every single cent of it. Essentially, most laptops for video editing are 2-in-1 laptops at the same time. They sport enough room for movies and video games. They typically have a huge screen with numerous color accuracy or color enhancing features, which means that most such laptops are great for both working and having some fun. Microsoft's Surface Book 2 is a newer, heavily improved version of the original Surface Book laptop that brings the two worlds even closer together with its enhanced features. As far as specs are concerned, you'll get to choose how much RAM you want, which GPU you want installed, and which CPU you want installed. Your options vary from the weakest Intel i5, 8GB of RAM, and 256GB of storage space to Intel's i7, 16GB of RAM, and a terabyte of storage space. Essentially, the biggest benefit this laptop offers is the versatility in the specs options. Even the lowest option is still formidable enough with 8GB of RAM and Intel's i5 CPU, although its main drawback is that it offers only 256 of HDD. Still, these features pummel the price tag drastically and offer plenty of value for the buck. The next configuration involves the same amount of memory, both RAM and storage, but it sports Intel's i7 quad-core processor. If you need more raw power and feel content with the amount of RAM and storage space the previous configuration had to offer, you should probably go with this option. The second best configuration features the same Intel i7 CPU, but you'll get twice as much RAM and storage space. We recommend this option for people who want a stronger rig and who either play video games or watch movies slightly more frequently than most people. Lastly, if you want to see the full extent of what Microsoft's Surface Book 2 can do, we recommend the i7, 16GB RAM and 1TB of SSD configuration. Even though it's still not as strong as our previous pick, it's one of the most versatile 2-in-1 laptops available on the market. Apple enthusiasts, we recommend the MacBook Pro 16 to you. It sports a massive Retina display, a robust Intel i7 CPU, 512GB of storage space, a touch bar, Touch ID, and AMD's Radeon Pro 5300M graphics. Now, the Apple's MacBook Pro 16 can cater to the needs of pretty much anyone, from gamers, over programmers, to video engineers. The specs and features this laptop features are incredibly versatile and well-rounded, and even though this might not be the strongest, most feature-packed laptop ever made, it's jack of all trades for people who demand a configuration that can be used for business, fun, and entertainment. First and most notably, this laptop features a sleek design, a slim profile, and a nearly weightless construction. Its dimensions measure 0.64 inches in height by 14.09 inches in width by 9.68 inches in depth, and it weighs approximately 4.3 pounds. It's small, portable, and absolutely beautiful. In terms of display, the Apple's MacBook Pro 16 features a 16-inch LED backlit display packed with IPS technology. It rocks 3072 by 1920 native resolution at 226 pixels per inch, which offers exceptionally vivid and lifelike array of colors. Specs-wise, this laptop is packed with a 6-core 2.6 GHz Intel i7 CPU that can reach up to 4.5 GHz with the Turbo Boost feature. It's definitely stronger than CPUs that most intermediate-level laptops come supplied with, and it should be more than strong enough to cater to your video engineering needs. The Apple's MacBook Pro 16 features AMD's Radeon Pro GPU that sports 4GB of GDDR6 dedicated VRAM, as well as automatic graphics switching. Lastly, let's briefly touch on its connectivity. It rocks 4 Thunderbolt 3 ports and a single USB 3.1 port that can be used with the Thunderbolt devices, DisplayPort, or for charging. Our final pick is Dell's XPS 15, the best laptop you can find for video editing and video engineering in general. In a nutshell, this laptop looks absolutely incredible. Its display is brilliantly immersive, its speakers are pretty loud and bass heavy, and its keyboard features very feely sensitive keys, as well as a touchpad. Its main trade-offs are poor battery lifetime and the fact that it can get pretty loud while under a lot of pressure. You'll get to cherry pick which features you want on board the Dell XPS 15, and the good news is that you'll have a huge selection to pick from. In terms of CPU, you'll get to opt between Intel's i5 and i7, both of which should do the trick for most video engineering tasks. In terms of RAM, you'll get to choose between 8, 16, 32, or 64, whichever option you choose with the exception of 64GB. Know that you can always upgrade your RAM for better and faster performance. GPU-wise, your options are Intel's UHD graphics and Nvidia's GTX 1650 Ti. Even though both are pretty neat, we recommend going with Nvidia's 1650 Ti this time around. Overall, if you don't mind the humming and the relatively low battery lifetime, Dell XPS 15 is as good as it gets. Thanks for watching, and that's all for now. I hope to see you guys in the next video. Till next time, see you guys later.